Coffee Talk. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba. And this is our Cultural Variety Podcast. Stay tuned. Peace. And welcome to Coffee Talk Podcast, the Cultural Variety Podcast show. Tonight is Wednesday night sports night. I am your host, Mashuma Saba, M. Saba, and this is our Wednesday night sports show. How are y'all doing this evening? Peace, and blessings to you all. What a week in sports, right? What a week in sports. A lot going on in the news from the NBA, boxing, and just a lot of stuff in the news. Other than sports, it's messy. Wars is going on, and there's not enough flavor out there. There's not enough flavor in the world. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough peace. There's not enough positive energy. There's not enough righteous intent. But yo, tonight we here on Coffee Talk Podcast, our Wednesday night sports show. And yes, we are the Cultural Variety Podcast show. So I'm happy that you are here this evening. And if you ain't watching the show tonight, you'll probably catch it tomorrow during the lunchtime. And that's what we like. We like for you to catch us during the daytime. But this is Coffee Talk Podcast. Again, we're a Cultural Variety Podcast show. We appear 3 days a week. We have an alternate Sunday, Monday night that we call Cultural Studies. We also have a Wednesday night sports, as well as a Friday and Saturday grown folk social hour. But tonight, it's all about sports, and that's what we're going to do, man. We're going to talk sports tonight. We got a good show lined up. We're going to talk about Mayweather and Pacquiao. We're going to talk about the Dwight Howard allegations. And we're also going to take you back, because we love to do that. We're going to take you back, pay homage to one of our ancestors and heroes in track and field. We're definitely going to discuss that. But before we get into our show, we never start the show without giving you its flavor as well as the wise words. So tonight's flavor, you tell me what y'all sipping on tonight. Me, I just got done sipping on a little something, you know what I mean? But tonight's flavor is black raspberry wine coolers. That's right, black raspberry wine coolers, which is a 9% little pinch in there, or you want to call it alcohol, 9% alcohol for us that don't drink heavily. And it's a great taste. It's refreshing. It's not like a what is that, a Spitzer style. And there's no need for no hangovers, man. And when you want to just come home, relax, you want to pop in a nice wine cooler, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever you do in the commenced of your own home, that's what you do. But man, make sure you're having a good time, a sucker-free time, and just enjoying life in general. So tonight's flavor is a black raspberry wine cooler. I can't say the name because, of course, I'm not getting any endorsements out the deal. You know what I'm saying? But I like the wine coolers. So that's what it is. It's a nice flavor. What? Because I won't say the name of the company? Well, I'm not getting no check yet. Right. Got to get that money first. But yeah, tonight's flavor is the black raspberry wine coolers. Yeah, you know how we do it. All right. Next up is our wise words. That's right. Our wise words are words of affirmations, aspirations, I should say, and affirmations, I should say. But our wise words are to just uplift our viewers, uh, people all over the world that's listening to us live on YouTube as well as live on Facebook Live. We just love to encourage uh, health, as far as in relationships, whether that be business, whether that be friendships, whether that be relationships. We want to go ahead and every day make it a point to fight consistency. Consistency is your ops. Consistency is your opponent. You know, you're gonna always go through some adversity, some ups, some downs, whole roller coaster ride. But if you know who your opponent is, man, it makes it easier in that boxing match. So you know that opponent in that boxing ring, that's consistency versus yourself. You know what I'm saying? So tonight's wise words comes from a great book that I've read by Robert Greene. Um, Probably one of the top 10 books in the history of literature. That's big words right there. I know it's one of the great books though of us scholars. The book is called The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And what stuck out to me about the wise words tonight was the weakness of making others depend on you. The weakness of making others depend on you. So if you do have the great book 48 Laws of Power, big shout out to the author Robert Greene for putting that together. I don't know if y'all can see that book or not, but make sure y'all go ahead and grab that book, man. You know what I mean? But it's on page 88, and it's the 11th law. But we're going to talk about the weakness. So tonight we're going to do a quick little, probably just a 2-minute read, um, to represent the wise words for tonight, and it's entitled "The Weakness of Making Others Depend on You." So let's go ahead and read that before we get into our sports. But it says here, and please bear with me. Let me highlight a few things first, because not that much light in the studio tonight. So just give me a second. All right, let's dig in. All right. The weakness of making others depend on you is that you are in some measure dependent on them. But trying to move beyond that point means getting rid of those above you. It means standing alone, depending on no one, such as the monopolistic drive of a J.P. Morgan or a John D. Rockefeller to drive out all competition, to be in complete control. If you can't corner the market, so much the better. No such independence comes without a price. You are forced to isolate yourself. Monopolies often turn inward and destroy themselves from the internal pressure. They also stir up powerful resentment, making their enemies bond together to fight them. The drive for complete control is often ruinous and fruitless. Interdependence remains the law, independence a rare and often fatal exception. Better to place yourself in a position of mutual dependence then and to follow this critical law rather than look for its reversal. You will not have the unbearable pressure of being on top, and the master above you will essence be your slave, for he will depend on you. This is the weakness of making others depend on you. What do y'all think about that, man? What do y'all think about tonight's wise words from the 48 Laws of Power? Definitely go ahead and leave that in the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are on that wise words. Also, let me know how you doing today. You know, here at Coffee Talk Podcast, we are a friend, the mini, and we also try to be a shoulder as well as an ear when it comes to just being there to listen to our friends and maybe going through a problem. We are big supporters of mental illness. We are big supporters of literature. They say a lot of our kids today are not in that are 9 years old are not even reading at a fourth grade level. They say 77% of our people are not reading, you know, that are illiterate. So that's why we encourage reading, you know what I'm saying, here at Coffee Talk Podcast. And that's why we give you the flavor. All right, let's go ahead and get into it because I know y'all's like, man, let's get to the sports. No doubt about that. I'm ready to get to the sports. Are you? All right. So the first thing is there's a bug out there in the news circulating stating that Floyd Mayweather, Money Mayweather, is in talks to be fighting Manny Pacquiao to end this year 2023 out with a bang as far as boxing goes. It's going to be part two, Money Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao is age 44. Floyd Mayweather's age 46. I don't believe age matters. Both of these guys are still active as far as doing exhibitions, but more than just exhibitions, they still in the gym working out, man. So it's going to be a great fight if it happens. Um, the last time these two gentlemen fought was back in actually May 2nd, 2015, where it was billed to be the fight of the century. Some people say it didn't live up to its billing. I'm not so sure of that. I will say this though to my coffee talk viewers. I would say, man, listen, the best time to watch a boxing match is after all the hoopla is over with. You know what I mean? So if you are a true boxing fanatic, a fan, a historian, what you do pertaining to this particular fight is go on YouTube tonight. Pour yourself something to drink, whether that's some water, some wine, a latte, a cappuccino, a coffee, a beer, whatever you do, a shot, whatever you do. But check it out tonight, man. Go on one of those video shows, YouTube or whoever, pull up the Mayweather Pacquiao fight, and you judge it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's how you decide who won. One of the reasons why I state that is because a lot of people that are non-Mayweather fans, I mean, you know how it is. It's entertainment. Mayweather knows that if he was to play the bad guy with some of you people that are not true boxing fans, y'all will learn to hate him. You would want to see him lose. And so that's what he did to counter into being one of the top pay-per-view viewers of all time in sports history. I mean, this is close to $1 billion man, if not. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, check out their past fight. Again, this is Money Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, and it's possibly they're saying it's possibly going to take place in Japan. I think that's great. Uh, Japan loves its sports. It loves its giants as far as in the sports world, as well as culturally and the art world. But I think this would be a great fight for Japan. You know, Mayweather don't do nothing that ain't big and making some money. I believe this would make some money. It's closer to Pacquiao's home of the Philippines. You know what I mean? Be a great, 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 great fight. So also, oh, before we go forward, also on the undercard is going to be Keith Thurman as well as Danny Garcia. Those are some names that we haven't heard in a while, fighting at 154. And I miss those dudes, man. And I was thinking about, we ain't seen these guys in a while. And a lot of people don't want to fight them. They don't want to take the risk because these guys have been in some wars. They have been past champions, and you don't want to lose to nobody like that. So that's why we haven't seen Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia uh, as much. I mean, there's people running from them. And then on the flip side of that, they're taking the risk of fighting a younger opponent and losing to somebody that's not heavily ranked. Let me know what your thoughts are on Keith Thurman on the undercard and his opponent. I did hear that they had named the opponent, but I'm not quite sure what the name is right now. Y'all fill me in on that. Leave that in the comments and let me know. Danny Garcia also scheduled to fight on that undercard. Go ahead and let me know who the opponent is if one has been selected. What is your thoughts on Keith Thurman? One time, Thurman. One time Thurman was calling out Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford at one time, but he didn't get a shot with either of those guys. And a lot of that has to deal with the fact that when Keith Thurman had a belt, the way he treated those young men, I mean those brothers, you know what I mean? He didn't want to fight Errol Spence. He said Errol needed to get more fights under his belt, and the same with Crawford. so it never was done. And then, of course, Keith Thurman took a hiatus after those wars that he was involved in. Uh, I think one of them was with Ugas, I believe. I know one was with Pacquiao, um, and I forgot the other brother's name, the short brother that took part of his soul, man. That brother's name? I'll probably find it later. Go ahead and leave it in the comments if you know. And Danny Garcia out of Philadelphia, man. Danny Garcia is at 154 now. And I haven't really seen him fight, man. You know what I mean? I would love to see Danny fight. He's a great counter puncher, former champion. So, but what do you think of Money Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao? Go ahead and put that in the comments. I think that it's still gonna be exciting. I think that Pacquiao still wants to beat Mayweather. He got to live with that loss. He had a lot of excuses after he lost the fight on May 2nd, 2015. It was a shoulder, a cuff injury, and then there was all kind of excuses. But to me, Pacquiao's swing was just off, baby. You was missing. It wasn't that Mayweather was running, because no, Mayweather was tagging your ass and playing extraordinary, excellent defense. You know what I'm saying? But like I said to y'all that enjoy boxing, go back into YouTube, check out a video of the fight, man. Tell me what you think, and then come back and leave a comment in the chat. You know what I'm saying? All right. Did Dwight Howard get selected as one of the 75 best players? I'm not sure. Leave that in the comments. Let me know. I know there used to be some news about that he was left off that team. And Dwight Howard was like, "Look, what are some of the things the Joker has done that he hasn't done in his time in the NBA as a career?" So I remember he was talking about that. But yeah, Dwight Howard is in the news, man. Allegedly, I got to say that, but allegedly there was a court hearing because Dwight Howard's being sued, and he's being sued allegedly for keeping a guy from leaving his house or something like that. Again, fill me in the comments. I don't want to put nothing bad on Dwight Howard's name, so I don't think it was any SI, or at least according to Dwight Howard, it was consensual. From what we're hearing, but he didn't want to let a guy leave, and it also included another guy, some type of threesome situation. Now, here I'm not here. Coffee Talk podcast is the new media. We're not the old. We're not here to stereotype or bash anybody negatively. We're just again reporting the news as it comes through, and this is what's out there right now. And sometimes we're big on accountability. Sometimes people have to, hold their own, man. You got to be accountable for what you put yourself into. You know, allegedly. So, what is y'all's thoughts of Dwight Howard getting caught in a scandal? With another person. Do you call that a person? Everybody's using different words here. Uh, with what do you want to call it? I don't want to. We have to have the proper verbiage, but it's a guy that you know wants to be a female. I guess is that the politically correct word to say, y'all? I mean, I'm trying here. I'm trying here. You know what I mean? So help me out. But yeah, Dwight Howard was alleged of keeping a guy from leaving his home uh, after having some situations proposed to him in a homosexual manner. Is that the best way to explain it without offending our people of the LGBTQ community? But tell me, what's your thoughts on Dwight Howard? And listen, is it fair? I hate using that word because nothing's fair. but just for the sake of this argument or question, is it fair that people that want to have a different sexual orientation not tell their lovers? Or perhaps in this case, I mean, they all knew of the type of stuff they get into. But more and more, there's people that are not telling people, what they do. And, is that right? Or should people be upfront? I remember it was a big storyline in the 90s how some people had sexual diseases, HIV, other things like that, and they wouldn't discuss that with their other sexual counterparts. So, let me know what's your thoughts on that? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. We'd love to hear from you about it. Do you think that this hurts Dwight Howard's chances of going into the Hall of Fame, National Basketball League's Hall of Fame? Uh, will he ever get on the team again? Is this gonna end his career? As y'all know, last year he spent the season off in Japan playing basketball, and he had sights on wanting to join the Golden State Warriors. I think that would have been great. You know, Um, you never know, man. Detroit, I mean, Golden State Warriors might need him, might not need him. Do you think that he should be allowed to continue to play basketball? What is your thoughts on this? Do you think that he broke the trust of not only family and friends, but teammates, fans? And does it matter? I mean, should we even be concerned with what's going on in Dwight Howard's bedroom? You know what I'm saying? That's what he stated in a response, allegedly, to some of the social media platforms that have been discussing this. Why are we worried about what goes on in his bedroom? Is what the words were of Dwight Howard. So go ahead and let us know what that is on Coffee Talk Podcast. Let us know what your thoughts are on the alleged situation with Dwight Howard, and leave that in the comments. And again, let me know how y'all doing out there, man. On a scale of 1 through 5. If you're having a great, great, great day, go ahead and leave me a 5 up there. I know what time it is. If you're having a good day, leave a 4. If you're having an okay day, leave a 3. If you're having not such a good day, but you're working on it, leave me a 2. And if you need somebody to talk to, man, leave me a 1, man. Or hop in my DM and let me know what's going on with you, man. And we'll be able to, sit down, and hopefully we can just be a shoulder that you can lean on, or an ear that we can listen to, man. You know what I'm saying? We ain't always got to have the answers, man. But I know a lot of people would like to just talk to people when they're not feeling good, man. And again, that's something that we promote here at Coffee Talk Podcast. All right. Now, the last segment of our show is we're going to take you back. That's right. Take you back to 1988 Olympics. It's the long jump record. And we're going to discuss a track and field long jump hero of ours by the name of Mike Powell. And this comes from the book 1001 Things Everyone Should Know About African American History by Jeffrey C. Stowart. We're going to definitely talk about the 1988 Olympics long jump, Mike Powell. Let's begin. In the 1988 Olympics, Mike Powell won the silver medal in the long jump. In 15 attempts, Powell had never beaten Carl Lewis. Finally, at the 1991 World Track and Field Championships in Tokyo, Powell beat Carl Lewis for the first time. He also broke Bob Beeman's 23-year-old world record. Powell's jump of 29 feet, 4 1/4 inches, came on his fifth attempt in the meet. He won the 1991 James E. Sullivan Trophy for track and field. Tonight, Coffee Talk Podcast, we honor you, Mike Powell, 1988 Olympic long jump record. So that's it for tonight, man. That's Coffee Talk Podcast. Go ahead and let us know what's your thoughts on the 1988 Olympics. Do you remember Mike Powell competing against Carl Lewis? You remember him breaking Bob Beeman's long jump record? Go ahead and let us know, man. And if you want to know more about Mike Powell, definitely go out there. And I'm sure there's some books, some videos, whatnot. All you got to do is put the work in, do a little bit of research, and you too can get the flavor. Well, tonight, this is Coffee Talk Podcast. I want to hit y'all with the universal peace sign and just let y'all know that, man, stay sucker free, man. Every day starts out with righteous intent, but it's up to you to keep it righteous throughout the day. So with that being said, it's your guy, it's your boy, it's the God. Shoom. Saba M. Saba. This is the Cultural Variety Podcast Show. Until next time, holla back.